Today's article is titled "After Sleeping in Separate Beds for 5 Years, We Finally Divorced Today." Let's dive into the story. After sleeping in separate beds for 5 years, the long-awaited divorce finally came today. With a deep breath, I typed out the words on the keyboard and hit send. At that moment, it felt like a cloud that had been hanging over my head for years finally dispersed, allowing the long mist sunlight to break through the thick clouds and shine upon me. The ice that had encased my heart for 5 years began to thaw, bringing a hint of warmth. I had always believed that if I adjusted my mindset, I could endure the marriage without too much pain. But now that I am divorced, I realize it's a completely different feeling. Marriage had been an invisible shackle, constraining me. I thought I could ignore it, but it was ever present. Now that it's all over, it feels like rain after a long drought. I can feel suppressed love and hope beginning to reemerge, like recovering from a serious illness. Divorce feels surprisingly good, making me wonder why I hesitated for so long. I had prepared myself to endure this marriage for a lifetime, even developing the skill to completely ignore my spouse, expecting nothing and demanding nothing, as long as my freedom wasn't overly restricted. Friends in similar situations would often encourage each other, saying, "As long as life goes on, it's better to have something than nothing in hindsight." This was just self-deception. Accepting the unacceptable out of helplessness was not about being broad-minded, but about being weak and irresponsible to oneself. I thought I was strong for enduring all this, but deep down, I didn't believe I deserved happiness. As Charlie Chaplin said, when I began to truly love myself, I started to distance myself from everything that wasn't healthy for me: food, people, things, and situations. I distanced myself from everything that pulled me away from my true self. I used to call this attitude a healthy selfishness. Today, I know it is self-love. Leaving a marriage that constantly drained me is like decisively throwing away spoiled food. There's no need for sadness, but rather I should be grateful for finally learning to love myself. A sexless marriage is indeed a form of betrayal. Before Shan Shan got divorced, every time she went home for the holidays, relatives would ask, "What happened to the vibrant you we once knew?" She often asked herself the same question. She used to blame her husband's lack of love for her situation and would tell others about their 5-year separation and lack of intimacy, eliciting shocked reactions. Before marriage, Shan Shan was a self-proclaimed independent woman with clear plans for her future. After marriage, to take care of the child, she unhesitatingly became a housewife, losing her identity as an independent woman. She became someone's wife and someone's mother, losing her unique labels and even the physiological pleasures of being a woman. During this time, despite her high education and past professional success, she lost confidence in herself. She tried to rekindle their marital life, but her husband rejected all her advances and even complained about her domestic skills, dismissing her efforts. Men often fail to understand or acknowledge the emotional efforts women put into preserving their relationships. Shan Shan's husband saw her as an adjunct, not an equal partner, depriving her of the right to respect and understanding. Her dedication went unrecognized, and even a simple hug was too much to ask for. An emotional expert once said, "A place without response is a dead end. Even the strongest people need to see their existence reflected in others' eyes." Women, in particular, crave recognition and affection from their loved ones. The reality is that many women lose confidence and become insecure because their husbands don't acknowledge them, ultimately losing their ability to live independently. Now that Shan Shan is divorced, she feels reborn. No longer tormented by unmet desires within her marriage, she's ready to embrace her best self, even at 31 with a child. The dissolution of her marriage shattered her illusions of relying on others. The ultimate harm in a marriage is the erosion of psychological resilience. Nothing is more important than personal happiness. A marriage lacking mutual appreciation and intimacy is doomed to end. Now single, Shan Shan isn't rushing to bind herself to another person. She has time and energy to do whatever she wants, experiencing life to the fullest. Each morning she wakes up feeling light, no longer needing to criticize her partner. She's realized that she had neglected her own needs for a long time. With her focus back on herself, she has clear plans for the future and enjoys engaging in fun, seemingly pointless activities. Who says one must get married? Shan Shan would tell eager young women to enjoy life while they are still young. There's nothing more important than that. Despite rising divorce rates, most people hadn't considered a world without marriage. Being single can be better than being in a bad relationship. If one finds a mutually respectful and intimate partner, marriage can be fulfilling, but it should always be a freely chosen lifestyle based on personal happiness. That's the end of this article. Thank you for staying with us. If you enjoyed it, please share it. Your likes and shares are our greatest motivation. May you have new insights every day, and remember, you are never alone here.